A few months ago, I released a distribution comparison video between CD Baby and Distrokid focusing on the different pricing structures, because when you choose a distributor, that's really what you're deciding on. It's how are your royalties paid out, what fees do you have to pay, and are you paying a subscription or a one-time fee, and are you getting charged for add-ons and stuff like that. And I think that video is really worth it. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll leave the link in the description below so you can watch the CD Baby and Distrokid comparison. And in this video, I wanted to add Landr to the mix because we've been doing a distribution series on the channel. A lot of you guys have asked questions about Landr, and I've filmed some dedicated Landr videos recently. And it just makes a lot of sense to do the same analysis, finding out what the true cost of Landr distribution is for a single, for an album, and then now over time, 5 singles and 3 albums over 1 year, 5 singles, 3 albums over 5 years. This is basically just imitating what an active artist would be doing, and how much you would have to pay if you got 100,000 streams and also 2 million streams, right? Because some distributors do charge you a back-end fee, a cut of your royalties. Other distributors let you keep 100% of your royalties. And so the amount of streams that you're able to get can directly impact how much you're paying in fees to a distributor. And then of course, lastly, I wanted to calculate the all-in cost. And spoiler alert, CD Baby is a lot cheaper than Distrokid in this scenario with multiple releases over 5 years with 2 million streams across your whole catalog. CD Baby has a lot less fees compared to Distrokid, and so that's why the overall all-in cost is cheaper after 5 years compared to Distrokid. And with Distrokid, we had to do the add-ons because with CD Baby, you get YouTube Content ID. So in order for it to be a fair comparison, we needed to add that Distrokid add-on in order for it to be apples to apples comparison. And we'll do the same thing with Landr. In fact, Landr also includes YouTube Content ID for free included in the base subscription. And so yet another reason why I needed to include the Distrokid add-ons, because every other distributor is including things like leaving your music up even if your subscription lapses, right? That's something that Landr does. Distrokid doesn't do that unless you pay a leave a legacy fee. So in order for it to be equal, we have to include these costs. So with that being said, I want to plug in some numbers for Landr distribution. And I have their regular distribution. I have Landr Distribution Pro because they do have a premium tier that you can opt in for faster support and more features. I'll cover that in a bit. And then there's also Landr Studio, which I covered Landr Studio in another video. I'll link that video in the description below. But what Landr Studio is, it's almost like a software suite where you get more than just distribution. You get mastering, you get sample library licenses, you get free plugins, you get mastering software, you get a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to do 3 separate comparisons because you might be interested in getting Landr Distribution Pro, or maybe you just want Landr Distribution Standard. It's totally up to you. I want to just get all the numbers out there. I actually don't have any clue where this is going to end up because I'm doing this live on camera, basically. I don't have the math sorted out yet. We're just going to discover this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Landr website, and here's their pricing page, right? Distribution Basic is $23.99 a year. You get unlimited releases, you get 100% of your royalties sent to over 150 digital stores, and you get YouTube Content ID included. It's not an add-on like in Distrokid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop $23.99 right here in the base fee. And also another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a parallel situation just in case you want some of these tracks to be cover songs, because Landr does include built-in cover song licensing for $15 per license, which is a great deal. They talk about that here. Here it is, easy cover song licensing, $15 per track. It's the same $15 license fee no matter what tier of distribution you have. So I'm going to create a parallel situation where these are all cover songs, just in case if you're a cover song artist and you need to know what your costs will be getting these licenses, because it's required by law to get the statutory license before you upload a cover song that you did not write. You don't have to pay this fee if you're uploading original music, obviously. So I just want to make that clear. So the base fee for Landr Distribution Standard, $23.99, or they're calling it Distribution Basic. If you go for Distribution Pro, that's $44.99 a year. So I'm going to pop that in to this column right here in case you want to get Pro, and what you get is more advanced reporting. You get more advanced features surrounding your release, such as a custom label name. You get to have custom release dates, country exclusions, delivery of high quality formats, which is more of an Apple Music thing. And then you also have the ability to update your metadata, which is a really cool feature. So all of that is in Distribution Pro. You might be interested in seeing what that costs over the course of this scenario. Multiple releases, multiple years, 100,000 streams and 2 million streams, right? That's the whole scenario. And maybe I'll expand this chart in a future video. Let me know in the comments if there's any scenario that you want to hear about, and I can do the math and we can just discover all of this together. I think this is just a great way to explore what these distributors are charging in the real world, because just seeing, Distrokid, $22.99 a year, it's not really the full picture if you want all these other things that you're getting with other distributors included, right? So that's Landr Distribution Pro. And then the third level of this comparison is I want to get Landr Studio included. Once again, Landr Studio is the bundle of everything Landr has to offer. It's mastering, distribution, sample library plugins, there's session software, and I forgot to mention they also have course library where you can learn how to promote your music, or you can learn music theory, all kinds of stuff, learn about Ableton Live, stuff like that. So Landr Studio is almost like the ultimate thing you can get from them, and distribution is included. If you get Essentials, you get the basic distribution. If you get Standard, you get Pro distribution. And then if you get Pro, you also get Pro distribution. That's how the distribution plays out as you're upgrading your Landr Studio bundle. So what I want to do is just take Standard, because it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get Distribution Pro in Standard, you're just getting the bundle of everything else. And so that's $143 a year. And I'll just drop this in. Obviously, you're getting a lot more than just distribution, but I want to include this in the comparison because it is an option. $143.88 a year. So I'll add that in. Now, right off the bat, obviously, $143.88 per year is a lot more than CD Baby and Distrokid, but it's more than just distribution. You're getting a bundle of software, multiple features, you're getting mastering credits, you're getting sample library credits. So this is really a software suite. You're also getting plugins included for your digital audio workstation for producing music. So Landr Studio is going to be more expensive than just distribution. This is the only thing that's not truly an apples to apples comparison. Landr Studio is oranges all the way down. It's a completely different thing. You get distribution included though, so that's why I wanted to include it in this chart. So let's move down the columns and we're gonna see how the prices evolve as you are active as an artist, right? So releasing one single, it's gonna cost you $9.99 with CD Baby, because CD Baby is a one-time cost for lifetime distribution, but they do take a back-end cut of your royalties, which is why there are these columns, right? You can see CD Baby does charge you about $34 every time you get 100,000 streams. That also equates to $685 for every 2 million streams, because CD Baby does take around 9% of your royalties in addition to this fee. Now, Distrokid has all of these add-on charges, right? The base fee is $22.99, very similar to the base fee of Landr Distribution Standard, right? Only $1 difference. But with Distrokid, you have to pay the Leave a Legacy fee in order for your music to stay in stores after your subscription is canceled or lapses, or you eventually die one day and you're not going to pay Distrokid anymore, right? So you have to pay $29 per track, per release, when Landr Distribution actually keeps your music live, even if you cancel your subscription. What happens is that Landr goes into a different pricing model and will start to take your back-end royalties once your subscription is canceled. But the good news is that there's no upfront fee. And secondly, you don't have to worry about accidentally not qualifying because it's automatic. Landr will automatically switch you over. They will never take your music down when your subscription is either canceled or you discontinue from Landr one day. Maybe you just retire from music, but you want your catalog to stay live. Obviously, that's your legacy, as Distrokid calls it. Distrokid just charges you for that legacy. Same thing with YouTube Content ID. That's included with Landr distribution. It's covered under the base fee. Distrokid, however, charges you extra. Distrokid also charges you for Shazam, which is included with Landr, and Distrokid charges you to get in future stores, the future DSP deliveries, $7.75. Landr distribution and CD Baby don't have any fee like that. In fact, new stores aren't really popping up. I'm not really sure if that's something you want to pay for. As long as your music's in Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and YouTube Music, as well as key foreign streaming services like Ngami, then you're good to go. All right, so there you have it, $23.99 for the Landr distribution base fee. If you are a cover song artist, keep in mind there's a $15 cover song licensing fee. That's really the only add-on that Landr distribution offers. And so your total for releasing one single with Landr is $38.99. If you want to go with Landr Distribution Pro, it'll be $44.99. And if you go with Landr Studio, which is the bundle of everything, distribution included, $143.88. Okay, let's move to now one album. This is really easy for Landr because everything is literally going to be the exact same price, because with Landr you have unlimited uploads with your subscription. So I'm just going to copy everything over. The cover song total will be completely different because you'd have to pay for licenses for all 10 tracks if they were all covers, right? So if you did a 10-track cover song album, you'd have a fee of $150 for the 10 licenses. So now your cover song total is going to be $173.99, which is not surprising at all. Cover song licenses cost money no matter who you go with, whether you go with Landr or another company like Easy Song Licensing. They're going to charge you somewhere between $15 and $20 per license, depending on what type of license you're trying to secure. The one that Landr offers covers all streaming services, so it's a good option if you need cover song licensing. So there's your cost right there. Next column, if you release 5 singles and 3 albums your first year, no surprise, once again, this is going to be the exact same cost. So I'm going to copy this over. If you do Landr Distribution Basic, it's $23.99 for all of these releases your first year. It's a flat rate, unlimited song release situation. So your 5 singles and your 3 albums, it's all covered by this $23.99. The same thing goes with Landr Distribution Pro. It's still covered under the $44.99 yearly subscription fee. You just get the premium add-ons such as the metadata updates and the custom label name and the advanced reporting, all that good stuff. And Landr Studio, same thing. No matter how many times you release, no matter how many times you master your songs, no matter how many times you use your sample library credits, it's all the same price, which is really great, I think. I think it's great. It's upfront. It's fair. There are no mysterious add-ons, no surprise charges. Now let's look at the cover song situation, because if you do 5 singles and 3 albums, let's say that they're all cover songs, right? That's going to be a ton of fees for cover song licensing. Remember, this is not the distributor's fault, right? By law, you need to secure a license to release your cover songs. Landr actually just makes it very simple, but if you were going to release 3 10-track albums and 5 singles, that's, let me do some math off camera really quick. So that would be $525 in licensing fees, plus the $23.99 for the base subscription. That gets you to $548.99 if you're a cover song artist and you need to secure all of these licenses. Now, the great thing about this is if you're releasing original music that you've written yourself, you don't have to worry about these cover song licensing fees. If you're uploading cover songs without securing a license, it's only a matter of time before those tracks are going to get taken down, or you might get a letter from a publisher saying that you violated law, right? You're in trouble. They're going to come after you. So these cover song licenses are a must if you are a cover song artist. Okay, so now let's take this scenario and let's take your same 5 singles, your same 3 albums, but now over 5 years, you're gonna have multiple subscription costs. So this is gonna be simple. We're gonna take all of these subscription costs, multiply them by 5. So $23.99 times 5, that's gonna have a total of $119.95. So I'll paste that in right here. Same thing with Landr Distribution Pro, $224.95 over 5 years. In Landr Studio, if you want to go for gold and get all the extras, multiply that times 5, and you're paying only $719, which sounds like a lot, but remember, this is 5 years of getting all of that software. So, okay, so here's that breakdown there. Nothing changes for your cover song licensing. So I'm just gonna move that over, and we're going to do, we're gonna add these two together. So there's the painful value if you're a cover song artist, and all of these licenses really do add up over time. This is kind of a ridiculous situation, but I know that some artists will release 3 albums of cover songs, right? Some artists don't write their own music, right? This is a real situation for some people. It's just gonna be the minority of people. So next, the fun part about Landr Distribution is that they don't take any of your royalties on the back end. You keep 100% of your royalties. And so this is going to be really simple. Basically, we've already come to the final values of what you're going to be charged by Landr Distribution if you use them for 5 years and you get 2 million streams releasing your 3 albums and your 5 singles. So we really got to the end. Let's compare that really quick to Distrokid, because the add-ons just absolutely kill artists, right? By the time you've been an artist for 5 years and you released your 3 albums and your 5 singles, Distrokid has already charged you over $1,200 in fees, right? Because Distrokid doesn't take any of your royalties. They basically just charge you up front, royalties in advance, basically, right? Before you even earned a penny, they're charging you. So what a huge difference, right? Moving from Distrokid to Landr, you can even afford Landr Studio and get all of the software. You can get all of their mastering, their sample libraries, their plugins, right? Everything that's included in Landr Studio. Even switching to Landr Studio is going to save you tons of money compared to Distrokid. However, you might not even need Landr Studio. You might choose Landr Distribution Pro or Landr Distribution Standard, right? You're going to save tons of money. The most you would ever spend over those 5 years releasing all the music you could ever want is $224.95. Contrast that with Distrokid, right? They make their base fee look really nice and low, but remember, you're not leaving a legacy. You're not getting YouTube Content ID. You're not getting these basic things when you are with Landr and you are with CD Baby, right? I'm just trying to be super fair and just state things as they are, right? If you want to compare the services on an equal playing field, we need to count these Distrokid add-ons. Otherwise, I mean, you could pay for Distrokid and get a stripped down, lower quality service, but then it's almost like, why not just pay $1 more per year for Landr Distribution? Is it really that much of a financial strain to go from $22.99 to $23.99 for a whole year, right? So that's why Distrokid to me still has a really outdated pricing model. They're just hoping to make all of this money in add-ons and upsells when Landr Distribution is all in. And of course, you'd have to pay for these cover song licenses with Distrokid also. Landr just makes it really easy because it's seamless. It's literally a checkbox during the distribution process where you can secure these licenses. The Landr team does all the work for you. You don't have to reach out to any publishers. You don't have to do any paperwork. It's just a really easy way to legally release cover songs on Spotify and get paid for doing so. So let me just quickly fill out these cells. They'll all be $0 because whether you have 100,000 streams or 2 million streams, Landr does not charge you for that. CD Baby, however, does, because CD Baby does take 9% of your streaming revenue, just as a reminder. So that's why there are additional costs in these sales. Funny enough, though, even with CD Baby taking some of your royalties, their one-time price model is still way cheaper than Distrokid also. However, we're going to compare CD Baby to Landr now because Distrokid is just so much more expensive. It's not even a challenge to understand who is more affordable and who's the better option for independent artists, in my opinion. But CD Baby is a very viable option, especially because they have a one-time pricing structure. Your music stays up for life. So let's compare that. The all-in cost for Landr Distribution Basic for 2 million streams across your whole catalog over 5 years is the same exact number, $119.95. That's basically just the base distribution cost multiplied by 5 because it's an all-in cost. This subscription gives you everything you need for unlimited releases, and you keep 100% of your royalties, and you get YouTube Content ID. You just are missing out the custom label name, and you don't get to set your own release dates. You just have to set your releases for ASAP, which is usually around 5 to 7 days. So if you don't care about exact release dates, you're just trying to get your stuff out there and then you want to promote it, get on Spotify playlists or try to trigger the algorithm, all that good stuff, then you're fine with Landr Distribution Basic. Let's look at Landr Distribution Pro. It's just going to be this number, which is the $44.99 multiplied by 5. And that's your all-in cost over 5 years across the whole catalog for 2 million streams. Remember, Landr doesn't charge you. It doesn't take a cut for your streaming revenue, right? It doesn't matter, right? This could be 2 billion streams and nothing would change here. Whereas using CD Baby, they would charge you 9% of that revenue, right? So the math is actually very easy and simple with Landr. It's just join Landr, join their subscription. Everything is included, no strange hidden add-ons where they nickel and dime you. That's not how Landr works. That's why I'm such a big fan of them. I'm not trying to pretend that these are the only distributors worth talking about. We're just focusing in on these for this video. But lastly, let's just take a look at Landr Studio Pro. Let's just say you wanted the whole shebang, you wanted everything Landr has to offer, right? We just take this number, which is the base fee for Landr Studio Pro multiplied by 5. And even that is way cheaper than Distrokid. In fact, it's about the same cost as CD Baby. Landr Studio Pro is basically the same cost as CD Baby. That is actually a really interesting conclusion that we just drew here on video. So look, all these distributors are going to get your music on Spotify. All these distributors are serving thousands upon thousands of artists. You, thankfully, in this day and age, have the luxury of choice, and you get to choose exactly how and when you want to be charged for what feature set, right? And if you like a feature set that is like Landr, where everything's covered, all you have to do is just stay an active member, then Landr Distribution can be for you. And if you want to check them out, I did reach out to Landr. They are offering a discount coupon in the description below for viewers of this video. So if you want to check out Landr, I highly recommend just securing that discount because saving money is always good. Doing that is also an incredible way to support the channel, and also hit like and subscribe if this video was helpful to you. But in conclusion, you get to choose the pricing model because there are so many distribution options nowadays. So I hope that this video and this breakdown and analysis of just how Landr charges and how that compares to Distrokid and how that compares to how CD Baby charges their fees, right? Every distributor is slightly different. And so you go ahead and choose whatever pricing model just feels the best for you, because we do have the luxury of choice in this day and age in the music industry. And I think that no matter what you do, your distributor is not going to make or break your music career. You need to do correct marketing. You need to have great branding. And if you have any questions about that, go ahead and reach out to the Indie Music Academy. We have great marketing programs. We have great marketing services that can help you get on Spotify playlists. We can help you run your Spotify ads. All that stuff is available at our company. And so if you need that, go ahead and reach out to us or go to the website, indiemusicacademy.com. All of that is available for you there. However, choosing your distributor is one of the most important choices. It's going to be the tool that brings your catalog to the world and makes it available on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. So with that, I hope this video was super helpful to you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And remember, if you didn't see my original video comparing CD Baby and Distrokid side by side, there's a lot of additional information in that video that I just didn't get a chance to mention in this Landr edition. So go ahead and click the link that's going to pop up on the screen right now to check out that video so you can get the rest of the story. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.